Hey, it's Bllstein. It's Easy Credit Motors, and it is a 1998 Toyota 4Runner, four-wheel drive, 3.4 liter V6 SR5 auto. Problem with it, this vehicle used to run like a top, and then I parked it on the street for quite a while. Somebody stole the catalytic converter. I limped this baby home and bought a muffler and a catalytic converter, bolted it on. Come to find out, the fuel pump gave out. So I dropped the tank, because you have to drop the tank to change the fuel pump on this baby. And I changed the fuel pump, drove the car about 25 miles, 30 miles on the freeway, no problem. And then it started. All right. The vehicle always runs great when it's cold. Okay. You could rev it. It goes, I mean, it'll go to 5,000 RPM, no problem. It won't do that woo, 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 you know, like as if it has a governor or something. It would not do that when it was cold. However, all right, once you reach operating temperature, it starts, man. The sputtering, okay, but only reaching operating temperature. You get the sputtering, you get the loss of power, you get the stalling, okay, you get the knocking, the backfiring, all right? Only when it reaches operating temperature. Now, the crazy thing about it is it wouldn't throw a code, all right? No code. Finally, I drove it so much that it did throw a code, and when it did throw a code, it was P0171, okay? It's a lean code, so the vehicle is getting too much air. Oh, boy, this could be anything, okay? Obviously, it could be a vacuum leak. All right, it could be, usually, if you look it up and you do the research, mass airflow sensor comes up a lot. I actually bought a used one, threw it on, didn't make a difference, sent it back. We already went over vacuum leak. You could just do a smoke test for that to see if there's a vacuum leak. I did a smoke test on this. I used like a Halloween fog machine, pretty interesting. I saw somebody do it online, great idea. No vacuum leak. Could be the fuel pump again. Maybe it was a defective one that I put on there. Could be the fuel filter. I already changed that. Could be the air filter. I changed that. Could be the throttle position sensor. I went ahead and changed that. You know, the easy solutions. It could be the plugs. It could be the wires. With this vehicle, you know, if you know this engine. Oh, great. Now I got an airplane going over my head. Oh, it's a helicopter. Ghetto bird. Anyway. Where were we? Yeah, to take the to replace the plugs and wires on this, you're gonna have to take off the whole intake. You're gonna have to take off the throttle body. Oh, I cleaned the throttle body because it could be that too. All right, so I went through quite a bit, and I didn't spend too much money. All right, and I got to the point that, oh, it could be injectors or coils too. All right, it could be O2 sensors. All right. That's where I got to. I got to the O2 sensors, and I found myself breaking out the scanner. Dude, from my experience, when you get to that point, you are overthinking a stupid, silly problem with a machine here. Just vacuum pressure, gears, and ignition. You're way overthinking it, you know? I'm looking at fuel trim as it corresponds with voltage output from the oxygen sensors, you know, pre-cat, after-cat. All right, how does all of that correspond with the fuel trim and the mass airflow? Oh my God, way overthinking it. So here's what it was. You know what the problem was? Here's what it was. I said, listen, KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Also a pretty damn good rock and roll band. Here's what the problem was, man. The problem, you see all that dirt that's fallen off there? A whole bunch of that dirt has fallen off of this thing. This, believe it or not, is the fuel filter. And the reason for why it is this filthy, I mean, this looks like infield dirt from Dodger Stadium. This is the top. Look at the bottom. The bottom is caked even worse. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of it, like, I don't know, 40% of it has fallen off just from me throwing this thing around, okay? You saw how much of it came off just on the car. So when this gets clogged, zero fuel gets through here, okay? This filter was white, okay? It was pristine white. And this is after, I'd say about 200 miles. 200 miles, and it looks like this. Okay, it looks yellow, it's saturated, it's just disgusting. So what was the real problem? Was it the filter? No. I put a new filter that came with that fuel pump. That fuel pump that I bought, fortunately, came with a couple of filters. So I just dropped the fuel tank again, and I cleaned it out, man, thoroughly, okay? Thoroughly. I'm talking, I was shoulder deep in that fuel tank, cleaning it out, just with gasoline, nothing fancy, okay? Threw the old gas out. There are only 2 gallons in there. When you drop this tank, you want it to be practically empty. So I threw the old gas out, and with fresh gasoline, thoroughly cleaned it. I also used a razor, and I held the razor at a perpendicular angle to the fuel tank. And I just scraped. You scrape that way so you don't, damage any of the plastic inside. You'll end up marring it or cutting it or shaving it. So you do it at a 90-degree angle. I shaved off so much crud in there, and used a microfiber towel, that doesn't have lint, to soak it all up, all that crap. I used a couple of towels, and cleaned out that fuel tank, man. Dropped the same fuel pump in there with a brand new filter. The thing runs like a top. I've already been to Mount Charleston and back with it a couple of times. And for those of you that don't know, Mount Charleston is, practically a 45-degree or maybe steeper climb, 8,000-foot climb. And it goes straight up, man, and it comes straight down too. So you're going straight up when you're going up that hill. At any rate, did fantastic. That is quite a test to prove that the vehicle is fixed. So I put a couple of 100 miles on it. It's running excellent. I use this vehicle. I call this the Road Warrior. This is Mad Max over here. Mad Max and I always travel to Southern California. And when I bought this vehicle, it was pristine. It didn't have the, in the industry, we call this the meth lab paint job. When the clear coat starts coming off. It's coming off on the hood, a little bit on the roof. And I'm going to touch that up. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell down below, because I'm going to go ahead and paint this hood and the roof to match in my garage. So it'll be something a DIY guy can do. I want to start uploading a lot of videos, going back and forth again between Vegas and Southern California to the dealer auctions. I also recently just slam dunked the Nevada real estate exam. So I will be a real estate agent as well. I'm going to apply the same principles that I apply in the car business to the real estate business. And I'm going to take my purchasers, clients who are looking for vehicles. And, once we've built rapport, we've done business, I'll be buying and selling their next home for them. Okay? So the two are a natural fit. It's a good marriage. This vehicle, I paid $2,200 for this in 2014. 2008, I closed it. I've been in this business for over 20 years, going on 20 years now. And I closed it down in 2008, because of the mortgage crisis. Banks weren't lending, so I waited for credit to heal. And then I went to work for the new car dealerships, to know my enemy. And 2014, I hopped back into the business with Deals on Wheels. And I had a partner, and this was the first vehicle I bought. I bought this thing, you're not going to believe it. 318,000 miles on this vehicle. I loaned it out to customers. I loaned it out to friends. It treated everybody well. Everybody sang its praises. And all I've done to this vehicle in all that time is, the cat and the muffler. And I put a new muffler on it. I bolted it all on myself because somebody stole the cat. All I've really done to it other than that is the fuel pump. And I've also replaced the shocks. And, of course, oil changes regularly. And it's now got 326,000 miles. Every time that we go to Southern California on my videos to look at vehicles, and I'm going to give you a boots on the ground report as to what's really going on at these auctions from a 20-year-old veteran's perspective. And I've always gone there with this vehicle. And I always come back with this vehicle because, hey, why put mileage on anything else? this is how reliable this vehicle, and I practice what I preach, man. Sometimes my customers that don't have a lot of money, I talk them into high mileage vehicles, and they think I'm trying to take them down, you know, trying to sell them a piece of crap for a lot of money. But no, man, I practice what I preach. This is what I trust my life to when I go from Las Vegas to Southern California to buy cars. And I go to Arizona as well. So, hey, I hope this video helps you. One other thing I want to mention is when I reinstalled the new fuel tank, what happened was my fuel, here, I'll show you the miles. You won't believe it. Look at the miles. So what happened was my fuel gauge was all the way at, now the fuel tank is full, okay? I'm never letting it go below halfway because I don't want that crud to accumulate anymore. But it was all the way up when I put the sending unit back in the fuel tank the second time around after putting on the new filter. And what I did, if you ever have this issue, rather than drop the whole tank, all I did was, under here is the sending unit. What I did is I took these 3 screws off, okay? One up here, here, and here. This comes right off. Unplugged this wire, and I put a block of wood up against the top of the sending unit, and with the rubber mallet, hit it lightly, tapped it lightly several times, bam! Popped right back where it should be. The fuel gauge started working. So there's tip number 2. If you're having problems with your fuel gauge, you want to find out where the sending unit is and lightly tap on it with a block of wood and maybe a rubber mallet. Hey, hope this video helped you out. If you're in the market for older vehicles, high miles, new vehicles, I shouldn't say new, I should say more like 2 to 4 years. You know, luxury cars are still under warranty, up to 4 years, 50,000 miles. I have access to more of them, as many of them as the biggest new car dealer in your town, okay? I have access to them, man, and I can get you the best selection and often the best price. But hey, as you've seen during COVID, and I told you this way before COVID, I used to preach this in my videos. If you're looking for something really rare, you know, a Porsche with a rare feature, you're not going to get a big discount at the dealer-only auction, although you'll still get the warranty and everything, but you'll have a much bigger pond to fish in, a much bigger selection, so you can get your exact color combination with the options that you want. Although it is harder to find, I prefer to go after your run-of-the-mill vehicles in preferably the basic colors like black, white, silver. All right, that wraps it up. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Again, ring that bell so when I upload a video, you get it first. Bllstein, Easy Credit Motors. By the way, easycreditmotors.com. I'm updating the website, so it's not ready yet. You're going to see a bunch of weird language. I got to update that template, but you get the gist of it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.